Baseball Dads number 19.
Hey, Dad, you want to have a catch? I'd like that.
Welcome to Baseball Dads. I am Jason Acquisto. Thanks for joining me. What a couple of weeks it's been, right? In the world of baseball. Such a sad day this week with the tragic loss of the legendary Roy Halladay, a great pitcher and a great guy. And just a couple of weeks ago, we had an absolutely amazing, thrilling, crazy World Series. 7-game spectacular series with the Houston Astros emerging as world champions for their very first time. And that put the wraps on a great season of Major League Baseball. So I sat down with my son Anthony to recap the baseball season that was 2017. So here we are, Baseball Dads, the first time I've had my son on the podcast. Welcome to Baseball Dads, Anthony Acquisto.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Thanks. All right, yeah, cool. Anthony is 14. He plays travel baseball for the Sharks here in Indy. First thing to do, I guess, now that the 2017 season is a wrap.
Yeah, Houston Astros, congrats. You guys played an amazing series, had a great season. And Houston, you deserve this. Pretty hard year for you guys, obviously, with the hurricane. But you guys really came together as a city, and hats off to you guys rallying behind the Astros.
It's awesome. It's great for the city of Houston, and so many guys on the Astros are really easy to like as players. I know you got an Altuve jersey like last year, right? In 2016. Just because, why? Why did you like Altuve?
Jose Altuve, he's just generally a fun player, fun guy in the clubhouse, the dugout. He's always smiling when they pan over to him. So that's the kind of player that I think there should be more of in baseball. I think Jose Altuve really embodies heart. Mm-hmm. He's 5'6", but he's got so much energy, and
and
he's
dude
just
can
a great
hit.
player. Yeah, he can hit.
It's not just that, oh, look how cute he is.
20 home run guy.
Yeah,
consistently. He hit like 350 this year. So.
Yeah, so he's a batting champ. He's got pop. He steals bases. He gets on base.
Great player.
He's an all-around great player. And
great fielder, great speed.
It was a great season. It was a lot of fun. And it was fun to watch the playoffs, even though our team, the Cardinals did not make the postseason. It was not a great year. Rest in peace. That's the way it goes sometimes. But it's also so much fun sometimes to watch other teams that are not your team just for the love of the game. I mean, how much fun was it to watch the playoffs? A lot of great games, very dramatic.
It was a great postseason this year. Like, personally, I like the fact that the Cubs didn't make it to the World Series, but that's just coming from a biased viewpoint. Yeah. But I think that teams like the Dodgers and the Yankees especially, were so fun to watch coming out of that wild card spot, coming back down 2 games in elimination, winning 3 games straight against the defending AL champs. It was just really fun to watch the young Yankees.
It was, because the Yankees weren't supposed to be there, and they weren't supposed to be, good enough quite yet.
Right.
And so all these young players, and Aaron Judge and Sanchez and Severino, all these guys that are just all of a sudden star players.
There's some news today. Masahiro Tanaka is supposed to be a free agent.
Yeah.
If he opts out of his contract, but he didn't opt out, so he's staying with the Yankees next year.
I didn't see that. Yeah, now is the time when a lot of free agents are starting to either get their qualifying offer or, expected to leave. The Cardinals are going to lose a couple guys pretty much for sure. But before
guys that really aren't important, but
well, maybe
we'll see.
Lance Lynn,
we got to get back. I mean,
I don't think they're going to make him an offer. I think they're going to make him what's called a qualifying offer, but sometimes they just do that just to kind of do a token offer, and I don't think he's expecting to come back, which I hate that. I mean, I think he's underrated.
Yeah. But then there's some old guys like Juan Nicasio, Zach Duke.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
we do need a lefty out of the bullpen because Brett Cecil was a disappointment this year.
You think?
Oh,
you
terrible.
think Brett Cecil was a disappointment?
Yeah.
They should make an
Sorry,
award
Brett
for
Cecil,
that.
but just...
Yeah, I mean, I like the guy.
I like him. I hoped he did well, but just disappointed.
It was a rough year for Cecil. He never could get it together. But I think the Cardinals are looking good. This is not about the Cardinals, but I mean, we are looking forward to some acquisitions in the offseason.
Wait, can I do a plug really quick?
A plug? Yeah.
On Instagram, all of you who have Instagram, I have a St. Louis Cardinals update page, Cards Network. No underscores, no periods, nothing. Just Cards Network. Follow. I'm doing some off-season stuff right now, doing recaps, player analysis, guys that we should get in the off-season, free agency. So if you like the Cardinals or just baseball in general, follow Cards Network on Instagram. So,
awesome.
Self-plug right there.
That's right. And also, Baseball Dads Pod on Instagram, getting more active on that. One thing that Anthony and I do every year is predict. We have little helmets, little baseball helmets, not the kind that you get the ice cream in, the smaller ones that could go on like an action figure. The little helmets.
Ones that I got when I was like elementary school.
Yeah, little helmets. The kind that I used to put on my G.I. Joes when I was little. And we arrange those into the prediction of how we think the season's going to go. So we make our predictions. And usually before the season starts or right after the season. And so then at the end of the year, we look back and see how did we do. Let's take a look. This is your predictions first. National League West, Anthony had predicted Dodgers, Giants, Rockies, D-backs, and Padres. And what was the actual order of finish?
Well, I'm actually going to break down each team as we go, how they performed. Dodgers ended up finishing first. Got that right. Won the division, made it to the World Series, played excellent through 7 games. Just got outmatched.
6 games.
7 games.
7 games they didn't
They made it to 7.
They made it to 7.
Whatever. Second place, Diamondbacks were a huge surprise. Found it very surprising that they made it to the playoffs. Obviously, they got swept by the Dodgers, but they did really well. Paul Goldschmidt is obviously such an underrated player, and they got JD Martinez halfway through the year.
Yep.
And I think he led the team in home runs. He's been playing with them for like 2 months. So he was a great power bat on that team. Rockies actually came in third, so I got that right. They had some great players. The Rockies and Diamondbacks actually played in the NL wildcard game this year. That was a good game to watch. Padres, nothing too exciting right there. They came in fourth. And then the Giants, it's understandable how they played so terribly.
Yeah.
Madison Bumgarner was hurt practically the whole year, and then when he came back, he was just not the same. They spiraled downhill
so hard. They are so bad last year. There's the National League West.
Actual finish was Dodgers, Diamondbacks, Rockies, Padres, and Giants.
Okay, so you got 2 of those right. So here's the National League Central predictions by... Okay, Anthony predicted Cubs, Cardinals, Pirates, Brewers, and Reds. Let's just say off the bat, obviously Reds came in last. Got that one right. That was not hard.
Cubs came in first. Got that right. But middle was a little bit more mixed up. Mm-hmm. Brewers had a really good year. Eric Thames, breaking out. He's been playing over in Korea for a while. Brewers gave him a chance, and he really performed, especially against division teams. Really terrorized the Reds. But, Brewers stayed strong throughout the whole year, and unfortunately, I don't want to say they held us back from becoming a wild card team, but I think if we wouldn't have had the shadow of the Brewers in our way, then we would have possibly made a better run.
National League East. This is your prediction. Washington, New York Mets, Braves, Marlins, and Phillies. And the actual finish was?
Actual finish was Washington, Miami, Atlanta, New York, and Philadelphia. So I got 3 of those correct, just mixed up Miami and New York.
Miami was better than I thought.
Giancarlo Stanton.
Right?
We'll talk about that later.
And they have great young outfield. Christian Yelich and...
Marcell Ozuna.
All those guys.
Cardinals should target Marcell Ozuna in free agency. John Mozeliak, if you listen.
I think he does.
Okay, John Mozeliak, if you listen, go get Marcell Ozuna.
Be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Any of those guys.
Or Stanton or Yelich.
Yelich is like so young, isn't he? Like
Yelich is like 26.
Is he that old?
There was looking at this, there was only one team in the NL East who finished over 500.
Yeah.
Nationals went 97-65, and then Miami 20 games back in second place, 77-85.
Oh man, second place?
That's rough. Yeah. All right, so the Braves, I'm wanting to watch more next year. They have really good young talent, Dansby Swanson and Ozzie Albies. And then they have some good young pitchers, I think, that are going to be really good. Obviously, they opened that new ballpark, SunTrust, this year, which drove in a lot more fans, and they performed decently. They didn't finish last, or even second to last, because the Mets had a down year. But
I think Phillies are going to break out too. They tore everything down and got a bunch of young guys, and they might still be a couple years away, but I think you could look out for them to start on their upswing again, because they were so good during that time when they won the World Series. What was that, 08?
08.
Yeah. Cole Hamels and Roy Oswalt.
Roy Halladay.
And Cliff Lee. And Chase Utley and Ryan Howard, all those guys. I don't know if I did. Here's the American League. This is your American League pick.
This must
For the
be.
West, pick Texas Rangers, Houston, Seattle, Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, and Oakland A's. Okay, and the actual finish was
Houston, Anaheim, Seattle, Texas, and Oakland.
So you really yeah.
Yeah, I got 2 correct from that. But
yeah, that's
Texas, man, what happened?
I thought Texas was still pretty good.
Jeez.
They
went from making the playoffs past 2 years and really contending, having that big rivalry with the Blue Jays, who, speaking of the Blue Jays, they finished in second to last also.
Yeah.
But they both had under 80 wins this year. That's hard to believe. But they just went from first to worst in that division.
Smashed to trash. The American League Central is your picks?
No,
so your picks in the Central: Cleveland, Detroit, Minnesota, KC, and White Sox.
And
so actual finish was
Cleveland, Minnesota, Kansas City, Chicago, and Detroit.
Oh man, Detroit.
I got 1 point.
Well, we got to see the White Sox. That was pretty cool. So we got to know more about that team. There's a lot of young players on that team that are making an impact. But
yeah.
Indians, definitely one of the best teams in baseball during the regular season for sure.
300 win teams this year. I mean, that's hard to believe. But then
I really thought the Indians were going to go farther. But Detroit, just what happened? Don't know.
I went out on a limb and said Detroit would come in second. I mean, I just wrote on Michael Fulmer and Justin Verlander, who obviously got traded midseason.
Yeah. Oh, he had a great year, just for the Astros, So
good
Twins,
for him.
Yeah, good
Verlander
for him.
Verlander won
That's
the World
awesome.
Series. So
Twins actually surprised some people by getting that wild card. I don't even know when the last time the Twins were in the playoffs.
Twins are in the playoffs, I don't even know, back in the 2000s.
I can't even remember.
Hasn't been this decade yet.
And so the Twins, good for them. Then the last one
Twins
to look
have
at.
some promise.
Yeah, they do. Anthony's American League East prediction: Boston, Toronto, Baltimore, Yankees, Tampa Bay Rays. Actual finish:
Boston, New York, Tampa, Toronto, Baltimore.
Yankees better than you thought. Blue Jays not as good.
Orioles not as good. Rays better than I thought.
I really thought the Orioles were going to do something too. Who did you pick for last place?
I picked Tampa.
You got that right.
It was Baltimore.
Oh,
Baltimore.
It was Baltimore. Ah.
Telling you, Tampa was in third.
Ugh, Baltimore. Rough year. I actually picked Blue Jays to finish first to win that division.
Tough luck.
And I had Toronto, Baltimore, Boston in third place, and Yankees, and then Rays. So I was way off.
No points.
I get no points for that. In the American League Central, I had Cleveland, and I had KC, Twins, Detroit, and Sox. So that was a little bit more, that was closer to the real finish. Neither one of us really did great. In the American League West, I predicted Houston. Got that right. Texas, Angels, Mariners, A's.
So you got pair.
I got a couple of those right. Angels just keep being so mediocre. I keep,
Albert hit his 600th this year, though.
That was good. Climbing up the list.
Tip my hat to one of the greats.
Albert. I'm not a machine. I'm just Albert. And this is my prediction. Washington, New York, Atlanta.
That was mine.
It was the same, wasn't it? Mine is Washington, New York, Atlanta, Florida, or Miami, and Philadelphia. Same as yours. Okay. And National League Central. This must be me here.
That was the same. So we must have had the same.
I picked the National League Central the same as Anthony, as the Cubs, Cardinals, Pirates, Brewers, Reds. So no love for the Brewers, who actually finished second ahead of the Cardinals. National League West.
Same.
Dodgers, Giants, Rockies, D-backs, Padres. Just no love for the D-backs. I guess it's because we visited Arizona 2 years ago and got to see a game and toured the ballpark there.
Chase Field's nice.
Yeah, but they were awful.
If you have a chance to go there, but yeah, they were terrible because A.J. Pollock was hurt, and then they didn't have J.D. Martinez. Obviously, Zach Greinke was kind of getting used to that scenery.
So they bounced back and became great. But Chase Field, that's a really nice place. Loved it. Super. So overall, I'd say it wasn't a very accurate prediction season for us. We didn't do great. All right, well, that's it. We've talked long enough, man. It's great to have you on the podcast. I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
This is my favorite episode. All right. Oh, come on, let the kids play.
Hey, come on, let the kids play.
Let them play. Let them play. Let them play. Let them play. Let them play. Let them play. Let them play. Let them play. Let them play. Let them play. Let them play. Let them play. Let them play. Let them play. Let them play. Let them play. Let them play. Let them play. Let them play. Let them play. Let them play. Let them play. Let them play. Let them play.